Hey guys, Coach Dave here. I've been coaching for a little over 3 years now. I have over 3,000 classes under my belt. I coach in Nanuet, New City, and Terrytown. I am also a flexologist for Stretch Lab, and I'm also in school for massage therapy.
Hey guys, Coach Jessi here. I am been a coach for about 6 years. I am the studio manager and a coach in the Nanuet studio. I am also a 200-hour registered yoga teacher, and I am certified in aerial arts.
All right, today we're going to be talking to you guys about recovery.
And how it's important and how it affects the body.
We're also going to be covering some basic tools to help you in the recovery and different modalities and how we can take care of our bodies.
We're also going to touch on why it's important to be on time for class and why you should stay for the flexibility block.
All right, so recovery is super important. Why? Because it actually helps us to really reduce the risk of injury by allowing that body to actually properly recover and regenerate itself.
By allowing your body to fully recover and using the modalities that we're going to discuss later, you actually get improved athletic performance.
We're also going to be able to show you how you guys can improve your posture, help you improve overall circulation throughout the body. Again, just making the body a lot happier, healthier.
Recovery brings blood to your muscles, which allows improved circulation, which actually affects other areas of your body and of your daily life.
With recovery, we're also going to be able to improve your range of motion, giving you more free movement throughout the day.
Recovery helps with muscle tightness and any muscle soreness, allowing you to have less pain.
All right, so with recovery, guys, it actually helps to bring down a lot of stress within the body, helping take a lot of tension out of our muscles, making us more comfortable throughout the day so we can actually do things that we need to do without feeling any discomfort.
Now we're going to talk about stretching and why it's important.
So stretching, as we heard before, it's going to help us not only improve range of motion, help take a lot of tension off, but with that tension, it's going to help us open up all of our vertebrae, getting a lot of nerve tension off there so we can get rid of things that are causing any issues, like if we have any elbow pain or whatnot. So again, the stretching is super important. But when should we stretch? How should we stretch?
The first type of stretching we have is dynamic stretching. These stretches are designed to prepare your body for activity, so we would typically see them prior to working out or going on a run. Think of a 3G style class where you see that dynamic warm up on that VBA.
We also have static stretching, which is holding a stretch for a longer period of time. Typically done for about 30 seconds or so, but it depends on how your body feels. These are usually done at the end of a workout.
So there's ways we can incorporate breath work into our stretching. So for dynamic stretching, you want to inhale as you do the work, exhale as you come back to your set position. So same way we have those set positions for any exercise we do, we have set positions for every stretch as we do. So for a single arm step and reach, you would start with your feet together, shoulders down and back. You would inhale as you step forward with that left leg, right arm reaches up, exhale coming back to center, alternating sides. So you incorporate that breath work as you move. On the opposite side, we have static stretches. So with static stretches, you are holding a stretch. So you don't just want to breathe when you're reaching into a stretch. You want to be able to breathe throughout the entire stretch. You want that deep belly breathing, filling that oxygen through your rib cage and letting it contract as you exhale.
All right, so let's talk about how long you should actually be holding your stretches for. I mentioned earlier, 30 seconds is roughly a good place to start, but again, it depends on how often you're exercising, how often you're stretching. So some people may need 2 minutes, some people may need 10 seconds. The biggest way to know is when your body gives you that signal of, when it gives you that release, you know you're good and you can move on. How should it feel though? There should be a good therapeutic stretch. Typically speaking, you should be working into a scale of 0 to 10. 10 should be where pain starts. We never want pain when we're stretching. Usually in the lower half of the body should be around a 6 to an 8, upper half about to a 3 to a 5 in terms of discomfort, okay? So as we're going through this, we don't want to feel any burning sensations. We don't want to feel any tingling or numbing or anything like that. If we're feeling anything like that, we're too far into the stretch. We got to come out of it a little bit.
So guys, stretching is probably the easiest thing you can do. It's no cost to you. All you need to do is carve out 10 to 15 minutes out of your day to just really focus on that stretch, focus on getting that recovery that your body needs.
Eventually down the road, guys, if we don't do the stretching that we're supposed to do, whether we're here in the studio, at home, etc., things are going to start going awry. We're going to start feeling a lot of discomfort in our joints. We're going to start seeing a lot of reduced range of motion. And that's going to start translating into bigger issues that are going to cost us thousands of dollars eventually if we have to start getting PT or even going for surgery, or maybe even coming to see someone like me over at Stretch Lab and spending a good amount of money just to get stretched when you could do it at home.
So other than stretching being one common way you can get recovery, having balanced nutrition, getting enough sleep, and making sure you're properly hydrating can also help in your recovery process.
All right, so one of the other modalities that we want to talk to you guys about today is SMR, or self-myofascial release. It's a really good modality. It's a great way to help create length tension in your body so that stretching actually becomes a heck of a lot more effective. This should be done before you stretch.
So we're going to cover some different modalities for SMR, kind of tools that you can use to help before you stretch. First off, the foam roller.
All right, so your foam rollers are really great for larger muscle groups, like your hamstrings. Typically speaking, when you're working into this, guys, you want to find something that's really tender, find that one spot and just let it sit there. Once it starts to dissipate, then we want to do small rolling over that localized spot. That's going to help us break over those muscles a lot more, giving a lot more length tension in those muscles, helping them to actually recover a lot more. Now, there's different variations of a foam roller. There's also a wheel that's a little bit larger, so we can get more like the adductors, has a little texture to it. There's also a vibrating one. Vibration really helps to break open things a lot more. So again, this is my preferred method when I'm at home. I love to use my vibrating foam roller for those larger muscle groups.
Next up, the Theragun.
All right, so the Theragun is a really good piece of equipment. It's percussive, kind of similar to that vibrating foam roller that we just mentioned. This one's gonna actually really help you out in terms of bringing a lot of fresh nutrients back into the localized area. Again, really helping to open up the muscles before we do our stretches. It can be used in a variety of different ways. This is one of my more favorite pieces of equipment here. So again, a lot of different types of grips. You can get this on Amazon or on the websites themselves, but just don't get tolerable is generally the sensation you're looking for while you're using these pieces of equipment. If you start to feel any sharp shooting pain, numbing or tingling or anything like that, not a good spot. You gotta move it a little bit or take less pressure off and just find that one that's gonna help you out the most. Now, as you see, I'm working into my upper trapezius right now. It's usually a place of tension for the majority of people.
Lacrosse ball.
All right, so next we're gonna be talking about the lacrosse ball. Again, the two different types of variations. This one's great to be used on the go. You can use it for rolling and things like that. If you're doing up against the wall, you can put it into a sock and then put it behind your back or whatever you need to. Personally, I like this variation. It's flat, so it doesn't have to move. I love this for my back, so I can get into those other muscle groups around the scapula, around the shoulder, if you will. Gets in there real nice. So as I lay down, I just want to find a one spot that, again, gets you into a discomforting feeling, but nothing that's going to be super painful. Initially, you just want to lay into it. Let your body weight help dig into that muscle. Once it starts to relax, you want to move that arm around a little bit more. And again, this is just going to help you open the muscles up a bit more, create more length tension, and get rid of any knots that you might have that prevents you from stretching.
The Theracane.
So last thing we're going to talk about is the Theracane. This is a very versatile piece of equipment here. One of my personal favorites. I got it off of Amazon, a little over $30, so real cheap, very effective. Lots of different ways you can use this. Very similar to the lacrosse ball. You can use this on your back as well to get into some of that musculature back there. You can use it on your upper trapezius. You can use it on your quads, your back, whatever you need to do. But same deal, as you're working into this, you just want to create pressure just enough to feel a good release, but not enough to cause any discomfort or pain, all right? So again, like I said, very good piece of equipment. I love this for my neck specifically. Love to get up in the back here, and it helps to really relieve all those muscles along the vertebrae here. Taking a lot of tension off, giving my neck a lot of relief that it doesn't get normally.
So in addition to everything that we've discussed as far as stretching and SMR and eating well, sleeping well, getting proper hydration, it's really important to take those rest days. Coming in here working 5, 6, 7 days a week not necessarily the best for your body. You do need those rest days or those active recovery days to give your body a break.
We also want to talk to you guys about why it's important to be here on time. We're not talking about like being here for when the class gets actually started, but to be here for the warm-ups themselves. This warm-up time is actually going to help prepare your body for what's going to be going on in the class. Gets the blood flowing, gets the muscles to open up a little bit more. This way we prevent ourselves from having any injuries during class. So here, as you guys see, is our dynamic warm-ups for today. 3 exercises up on the board. As we were talking about, a couple of them are just getting the body more primed and ready to go. First 2 movements going left to right are getting those muscles revved up and ready to work, getting our joints to open up a bit more, getting everything moving. Now on that last one, your squat jack, that's meant to help elevate your heart rate, get things really fired up, get that body really warmed up from the inside and getting ready to go for all the activity that's coming up in the next class.
And guys, really important that you stay for the flexibility block. Everybody always runs out of here. Guys, that is the minimum stretching that you should do after your workout. You really should be going home and stretching more, but the flexibility block is designed to correct postural distortions that are caused by the tread and the rower specifically, not necessarily what you did on the floor. So if you work chest, you may need to go home and stretch out your chest. If you work your triceps, you may need to go home and stretch out your triceps. You're not always going to get the hamstring stretch. You're not always going to get the quad stretch. Really important that you at least stay for the bare minimum. So as we transition out of the actual workout portion of the template and into the flexibility block, you'll see on the left-hand side that alternating step and reach. That's that dynamic stretch to aid in that transition. You don't just want to stop moving your body. You want to keep moving your body, let your heart rate slow down, and then we get to move into those static stretches. So you have that half kneeling psoas stretch, the butterfly with shoulder stretch, the pigeon stretch, all 30 seconds each side if needed. And that's just a guesstimate of how long you should hold your stretches for, as Dave talked about before. But these are meant, again, to correct postural distortions, specifically from the tread and rower. You won't necessarily see stretches based on the exercises done during that template. Did you know that when you went to the at-home section on your app, in addition to the at-home workouts that you do, we actually have the active recovery section. So Dave and I talked a lot today about different types of active recovery. In your app, you have all of those types of recovery. The Theragun, Orange here is big on the hypersphere. We have mat flows, mobility flows, and they're all about 10 minutes a piece. So really easy, really guided, so you don't have to invent the wheel.
All right, guys, so hopefully you learned a lot today watching the video, learning a little bit more about why we do our stretches, how we do our stretches, etc., how to take care of your body more effectively, and how to listen to it.
And then remember, really important that you take what we say into account. We're here for you. We want to help you. Every coach in this network wants to see you succeed and you stay healthy. If you have any questions about any of the stuff, any of the content that you saw today, feel free to reach out to Dave or myself, or you can reach out to any coaches in your local network.
All right, so stay on top of those transformation challenges. Keep earning those goals. We'll see you guys on the backside.